Good evening, ma'am. Thank you for the opportunity given to our group. Okay, before we start, let me introduce myself. My name is Debora Kaseger. This time I will read part of my assignment, namely a poem by William Blake, entitled The Tiger, the Fly, and the Lamb. The Tiger. Tiger, tiger, burning bright, in the forest of the night, what immortal hand or eye could frame thy faithful symmetry? In what distant deeps or skies burn the fire of thine eyes? On what wings dare he aspire? What the hand dare seize the fire? And what shoulders and what art could twist the sinews of thy heart? And when thy heart began to beat, what red hand and what red feet? What the hammer, what the chain, and what furnace was thy brain? What the anvil, what red grasp, their steady terror's clasp? When the stars drift down their spears, and water heaven with their tears, did he smile his work to see? Did he who made the lamb make thee? Tiger, tiger, burning bright, in the forest of the night, what immortal hand or eye dare from thy faithful symmetry? The fly. Little fly, thy summer's play my thoughtless hand has brushed away. I am not I, a fly like thee, or art not thou a man like me? For I dance and drink and sing, till some blind hand shall brush my wing. If thou is life, and stretch and breathe, and the wind of thou is dead, then am I a happy fly, if I live or if I die. The lamb, little lamb, who made thee? Dost thou know who made thee? Gave thee life and bid thee feed by the stream and o'er the maid. Gave thee coating of the light, softest coating woolly bright. Gave thee such a tender voice, making all the fellows rejoice. Little lamb, who made thee? Dost thou know who made thee? Little lamb, I tell thee, he is called by thy name, for he calls himself a lamb. He is meek and he is mild. He became a little child, idle child, and tall a lamb. We are called by his name. Little lamb, God bless thee. Little lamb, God bless thee. Thank you. For the next, my friend Michelle will continue and explain it about the audio.
Okay, thank you, Bora. Before I start, let me introduce myself. My name is Mithcelly Karwur. I'm from Class A, Extensive Listening. So, after we heard the audio, in the audio, there is a native speaker named Natasha. She is talking about three poems by William Blake. The three poems are The Tiger, The Fly, and The Lamb. She also talks a bit about who William Blake was. After we heard that, we were a bit curious about William Blake, so we looked up who William Blake was. From the result we got, it can be said that William Blake was an English poet, painter, and printmaker. During his lifetime, he was not a recognized and widely known figure, but on the other hand, William Blake is considered a flourishing figure in the history of poetry and visual art from the Romanticist era. His prophetic poetry has been considered to form what is in proportion or what is proportion to its merit at least read body of poetry in English language. It is his visual artistry that has led one contemporary critic to declare him the greatest artist Britain has ever produced. Although William Blake lived in London all his life except for 3 years spent in Feltham, He produced a diverse and symbolically rich corpus, which embraced the imagination of the body of the god, human existence itself. So that's all about William Blake. And next, we move to the interpretation. And the first one is The Tiger. William Blake's The Tiger is a poem of praise and wonder and fear of the tiger extenses. The poem attempts to question the origin and creation of this creature, as well as considering its fearsome and marvelous properties. The poem begins with the statement, "Tiger, tiger, burning bright," which describe the brightnesses and strength of the tiger. This line also creates a mysterious atmosphere by mentioning the forest at night. Next, William Blake asks who has eternal power and knowledge to create the beauty and fear found in this tiger. He asks about what immortal hand or eye can create the eerie symmetry in the tiger. And the poem continued to ask deeper questions about the origin of the tiger. William Blake wants to know from the depths or the distant skies where the fire in the tiger eyes comes from. He also asks who dared to aspire to the power to create such a tiger and who dared to take that smoldering fire. Next, William Blake asks about what shoulders and skill could create the power that was in the tiger heart. He also asks who has the terrible hand and terrible feet when the tiger heart began to beat. The poems continue to ask about the process of making the tiger. William Blake wants to know about what hammers were used, what chains were used, and in what fireplace the tiger brain burned. He also asks about what anvil was used and who dared to hold the deadly horror close. At the end, at the end of the poem, William Blake compares the tiger to a sheep, creating a contrast between strength and goodness. He asks if the one who created the sheep also created this tiger, thereby raising question about the nature of God. The poem The Tiger by William Blake invites the reader to think about beauty and ferocity, about creation and human nature, and about the mysteries that exist in this world. It explores themes of majesty and fear in the natural world and asks questions to provoke thought and reflection. And the second is The Fly. William Blake's poem The Fly is a short reflection on life and death involving a small fly. The poem explored Blake's perspective on the connectedness between living things and the importance of the mind. The poem begins with an introduction to the little fly playing in the summer. However, a careless hand inadvertently erased its extents. This created a feeling of loss and sadness, illustrating the fragility and unpredictability of life. Later, William Blake questioned the difference between himself as a human and a little fly. He ponders whether he, as a human, is the same as the fly. Do they both have the same right to live and experience life? In this question, William Blake highlights the similarity and unity between different living things. Furthermore, William Blake reflects on the fun and estimate he feels in his life. He dance, drink, and sing, showing the freedom and joy of living life. However, he realized that at the end there is unseen force that could end his life. Um, like the fly earlier, it could be eliminated by a blind hand passing by and touching its wings. The poem continues with a statement and emphasizes the importance of the mind and consciousness. Blake states that if the mind is life, strength, and breath, then a lack of mind will mean to that. In this thought, William Blake explored the relationship between thought and life, between consciousness and meaning in human life. The end of this poem showed an expected attitude towards life and death. William Blake states that if he, as a fly, lives or dies, he is happy fly. This statement implies that he accepts the cycle of life and death with a calm heart and accepts his destiny. Overall, the poem The Fly by William Blake explored the concept of life, death, and the importance of thought in the human experience. The poem invited um, the reader to reflect on the natural extent and the meaning of life and accept the natural cycles that exist. Next is The Lamb. William Blake poem's The Lamb is a beautiful depiction of a little lamb and its creator, also referred to as God. The poem explored the concept of simplicity, goodness, and wonder in creation. The poem begins with a narration to a gentle and cute little lamb. The poet asks if the lamb knows who created it. The lamb is given life and told to eat and drink along the streams and meadows. It is also given beautiful, fluffy clothes like fur and a soft voice that makes all the fellows cheer for joy. The question asks highlights the wonder of creation and emphasizes curiosity about the origin of the lamb. Next, the poet gives the little lamb an answer. He revealed that the creator is God who calls himself the lamb. God is described as a meek and humble figure who becomes a little child. In this, comparison, the poet states that he as a child and the lamb as a sheep. We are all called by his name. This creates a strong bond between man and his creator. The poem ends with um, a prayer expressing hope and blessing to a little lamb. The poet wished God blessing on the lamb. This statement implies that the lamb is a God creation to be honored and protected. Overall, the poem The Lamb by William Blake is a tender statement about the wonders of creation and the relationship between the creator and his creators, and also the poem provides a sense of awe and appreciation for God's goodness manifested in the form of a gentle little lamb. It also invites the reader to appreciate and celebrate the simple and comprehensive wonder of life. So that's all from our group. Thank you, ma'am, for watching.